Hi everyone, my name is August Bradley and I'm going to tell you today a little bit about the Fiilex Q8 Travel Fresnel. This is an 8-inch LED Fresnel and I've worked across the spectrum in production. Big budget agency commercial shoots as a photographer and as a cinematographer doing TV commercials, tiny no budget indie films and street shoots. Across the spectrum you need three things. You need really high quality light that can mix with other professional fixtures or with the environment. You need really robust, solid housings and casings and equipment because when things break, everything stops. And you need a ton of control. You need a lot of precision because if you can quickly dial in the light temperature, the level of brightness without doing scrims and gels, you get a lot more done in the day and you just do better work. So across the board, the Fiilex line gives me the level of control, the quality of light, and the solid, reliable fixtures. And this new Q8 is unprecedented for a mid-size Fresnel. I have never had this level of control and I have never had this level of quality of the beam coming out of the Fresnel lens. Fiilex does this in a couple ways. One is they have what's called a dense matrix. They take their LEDs and they bring them really tightly together. All LED manufacturers need a large number of LEDs to create the brightness. One is just not enough. But what Fiilex does is they pack them super tight in what they call a dense matrix. Other manufacturers have them spread out. Fiilex has achieved this dense matrix by creating a bonding method that is proprietary that lets them dissipate heat so you don't have the heat problem you typically have when you pack them super tight. The benefits are twofold. One, you get better color mixing. So you just get a better quality light coming out that's more consistent. No fringing, no waves, no color gradients, just a consistent quality light at the color temperature you set it. Second, for a Fresnel, when you're shining through the Fresnel glass lens, this is designed to come from a very small point source of light. It's basically designed around the tungsten bulb. So when LEDs are spread out wide, it doesn't work as well. By packing them in tight, Fiilex has achieved basically the quality that you typically get from a Fresnel, but then the control you get from an LED. And astonishingly, it's actually a more smooth beam, as we'll see when we do some comparisons. But the beam of light across the Fresnel, even in the tightest spot level, where you typically have waves and gradients and fringing and inconsistencies, the level of consistency from this Fresnel is unprecedented. And the reason for that is because the glass Fresnel itself has been run through endless computer simulations and optimized for the dense matrix. Most manufacturers take their tungsten-based Fresnel, throw their LED source light in, and they have a new unit, an LED unit. Fiilex has optimized and custom built the Fresnel for not just an LED unit, but for their particular dense matrix. So the two are optimized in a way no other manufacturer does, creating a really unique combination of optimal light source and optimal magnification and focusing through the lens. Then what they do is they have a 192-point calibration process that compensates for any inconsistencies that remain and compensates for that warm-up period when you first turn it on. So the Fiilex lights are ready to go instantly. No waiting, no warm-up period. And then finally, they have just an unprecedented level of control with the fixtures. Take a look at this. First of all, this is just the most elegant back control panel that I've ever worked with. It's just well designed. It's intuitive. You don't have to read the manual. You're ready to go as soon as you take this out of the box. But beyond that, the precision is just extraordinary. It has, look at the color temperature. Let's turn the brightness on. So we're on the wide flood setting, and of course it goes super bright. Set it down to a level where we can manage it here. We have the color at tungsten. The environment here is tungsten, so it's going to match at the warmer side of the range. As we turn it blue, you'll see it get very blue. It goes from 2800 up to 6500, so it's the full range that you need. So bringing it back to our matched environment, now you also have the ability to change the hue for plus 0.25 to negative 0.25 across the magenta green scale, which is extremely helpful when you're trying to match non-professional lights. Say you're in an office with ugly fluorescence, you need to match that somewhat. You can match it. You're still going to get great quality of light out of this, but you can match the color a lot closer so you don't have these aberrations. And then the range of the Fresnel spot is just extraordinary. It goes all the way down to 11 degree spotlight. And look what happens when we go down to 11 degrees. It is incredibly consistent across that range. Look, it's a solid spot all the way across. There's no, typically when you go to the tight end of the range, you have a hot spot in the middle and then inconsistencies off to the side. This is super tight, super consistent, and the color is perfectly consistent all the way through. That's not always the case. Then we pull it back. It's just an incredible range of focus. And then with the, with the color settings, the level of precision, I mean, you could go, I mean, it's I've just never seen this, the level of precision on this. The knobs have the perfect amount of friction to really set it exactly where you want it, both with hue and with color adjustment and with brightness. The brightness goes down to 0.1%. That's just incredible. I've just never seen that level of dimming. And sometimes you really want it down. Sometimes you need it low. So incredible control, super solid fixture, super solid housing. Got the barn door accessory here. And it's just, I mean, this is the most control and the highest quality light I've ever seen. So for the sake of comparison, I've put two lights up here on the wall. On the left, we have the Fiilex Q8 in its tightest 11-degree spot mode. On the right, we have a classic Junior 2K tungsten Fresnel. And you already see a big difference. Both are in their tightest spot mode. The Q8 on the left has a very clearly defined spot, a consistent tonality of light across it. You don't have a lot of deviations. In the color, and when you see it in person, it's even more obvious. The color is perfectly even across. With the tungsten Fresnel, you've got basically a hot spot in the middle and then just a gradient fading out with no real edge to the spot. And when you see it in real life, it's actually even less defined. Really, all you have is a hot spot and then just a gradient out. With the Q8, you get an actual spot consistent on the inside and then it stops. So this has become the fixture I go to, whether I'm bouncing off a wall, whether I'm shooting directly onto a subject. It gives just a beautiful, clean light that mixes effortlessly with other fixtures or with the ambience. So it's the perfect in terms of flexibility, control, and quality. And that's why I'm super excited about the new Q8 from Fiilex. Thanks.